pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And first order of business is a poll hearing, and we have a representative from National Grid. That's good. Okay, call this poll hearing to order. In accordance with the provisions of Section 22, Chapter 166 of the Massachusetts General Laws, you are hereby notified that a public hearing will be held at the Hardwick Municipal Office Building, 307 Main Street, Gilbertville, Mass, on the 12th of August, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. on the petition of National Grid, Verizon New England, request permission to locate poles, wires, and features, including the necessary sustaining and protecting fixtures along and across a public way, Greenwich Road. Is there anybody here to speak to this?
Mr. Chair, may I start?
Sure.
So the abutter was notified in the appropriate amount of time, and it has been posted in accordance with the law in the Ware River News.
Okay. Would you like to explain this, sir?
It's a pole for new service on the road. So you just, I think there's not many services on that street. We just need a pole to get right across over.
So it's really, this is only about one pole.
Yeah, it's one pole.
Okay.
Since we have a public hearing, we're just
Yeah, it's one pole. One post.
Is there anybody here to speak for or against this?
Do we know what part of Greenwich Road?
It's out near Collins Road.
I don't know if you can see it. There's Collins Road, there's Greenwich. There's an existing pole, and we're just adding a new pole right there.
Thank you.
That being the case, I'll ask for a motion to close this hearing.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I would seek a motion to grant the National Grid, Verizon New England, grant their request for permission to locate a pole on Greenwich Road.
Okay. Make a motion to locate a new pole for National Grid and Verizon per the information given.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just ask for your signatures on that, please. Every time I use the word appropriate, I'm going to think of you.
Good. Sounds like I'm appropriate. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for
Thank you.
coming.
Happy New Year.
Visitor comments? We're going to take a vote on select board meeting dates.
So I put together a list of the select board meeting dates for FY25. There are 3 Mondays that fall on holidays this year. So I had moved to the following Tuesday. I just wanted to get the board's approval to see if that would work. It's only 3 Mondays this entire year, but I want to make sure that we get a meeting list posted on the website and everything. So.
And this is coming up So, no, this is scattered across the year.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Good. We have to check to see if we might be in conflict with the planning board. so if that's the case, it's just a question of finding a space.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we can move it to the following day, Tuesdays, or
Yeah,
we can cancel them. We can skip
I mean,
them.
you have 48 hours notice, you know, so
Right.
you can move anything around.
Okay, so you wanna just leave it, or you wanna? Yeah.
What, on the holidays or the
No,
Tuesdays?
just-
Oh, as far as if it's a conflict?
Yeah.
Yeah, or if it's a conflict, we'll adjust it ahead of time, that's all.
Okay. You wanna vote on this?
Sure.
One thing before you vote, I think December 19th is a typo. I think it should only be December 9th. Just wanted to bring it
Right.
to your attention.
Good catch. Thank you. I just thought we could meet twice in 1 week. Around Christmas time. Something
Right?
special. Yeah.
We're looking for gifts.
Yeah. Just gonna, you know.
All right, could I get a motion to
Yes,
move those dates?
make a motion to approve the select board meetings for fiscal year 2025. And the dates listed here, the 24th.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
The warrant for the state primary.
Yep, this is for the town clerk's office, just authorizing the fall voting date.
All right,
So I will need a vote and some signatures.
all right, seek a motion to,
Make a motion to approve the warrant for the 2024 state primary.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm gonna sign it now.
$87 days to the election, something like that.
Thank you.
You bet, thank you. And now, Liz Siren for the Hardwick Rural Collaborative.
I don't know how to do this. Move this little table, move it all over, and since we're all being. Maybe just move the chair up and.
Yeah, I think maybe we just move
Just
the
move
chair up a little bit.
and we'll all be friendly.
Yeah, it's not
What's so pushy? Can everybody see? Okay. You have a small printout there of the Hardwick Rural Collaborative. We are a new nonprofit. What is interesting about us is we are totally female board. Lisa Cohen is one of the members of the board. I am one of the members of the board. We're all Hardwick women. So, and I have to admit that we did that for a reason, because women-owned nonprofits get a few places that other nonprofits don't get. So, that being said, we gave you a little bit of teaser about some of the things that we were thinking about, and so here's the presentation. What if a group in town had the idea to save, and the vision to save one of the unused buildings in this town? What would that vision entail? Something that would fit the rural character of our town, something that everybody in town can use and enjoy, something that reflects and preserves the history of the building while allowing that building to be viable all the way into the future, or on a very grand scale, a self-sufficient building that will no longer be a burden to the town and the resources of the town, and would actually pay the town back in some way. To that end, wouldn't that actually be elementary? Okay. The Hardwick Rural Collaborative is a nonprofit organization that seeks to renovate and repurpose the Ruggles Hill School. The organization envisions the Ruggles Hill School as a community resource with programs of interest and value to this rural town. The space would house a community kitchen, classrooms for programs catering to adults and children, indoor and outdoor spaces for gatherings, and the collaborative would seek to work with existing local nonprofits such as the Hardwick Community Fair Association, the Hardwick Farmers Guild, and in celebration and support of the rural nature of Hardwick and all of its villages. Oh, okay, thank you. This is our mission, to preserve the Ruggles Hill School, a building which we love, and to use it for the future of our community. This is our vision, to repurpose a deteriorating building of historic significance that has outlived its original purpose into an asset to the local population without removing any of the character of the building and improving the area. There will be no negative impact to the area. The outside of the building is on the historic register. There will be no impact to the outside of the building, and the building is going to look exactly the same as it has for the last 100 years. All of its native plantings are going to be redone. It's going to have community gardens that will only have positive impact upon the neighborhood while inviting people to use the area. And when it is finished, it's going to be usable by all the citizens of Hardwick. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you elementary. Okay. And because we got to do shameless self-promotion, I have a t-shirt.
Oh, nice.
I have a t-shirt. As you notice, that looks exactly the way the building does now, only it's pretty and there's nothing falling off. See if we can we put that somewhere? So, let's put it here so it's nice. By the way, that picture was done by my sister. So, some of the proposed uses, and we put this here because when I got into this, and by no means, this is not something I just came across. I've been trying to do something with this building for 30 years. I've approached the town of Hardwick for 30 years to do something with this building. Some of the people here in this building, Eric also, my proposal has been kicking around this town for probably 5 years. And all of these proposed uses have been on that building. And every time I've come and talked to people, everybody comes up with another idea of, oh, we could do this and we could do that. And everything keeps getting added, and there's so many things that we could do with that building. But all in all, it all adds up to community uses, and it's centering around rural, the farms, and food. The number one proposal for this is a shared community kitchen. And there's a little blip in the package that I gave you exactly what is a shared community kitchen. It's basically a serve-safe, approved kitchen that people in our area can use for canning items, promoting products, starting a business.
Cooking fundraising meals.
You betcha. You know, community dinners, bringing back the fair supper. Okay, you know, you wanna learn how to you wanna build a business, and you wanna sell your product at the farmers market. You can come down and you can use your product, and you can get jams, jellies, bakes, whatever. You want to become a caterer, you can become a caterer. Anyway, shared community kitchen. We can promote small business and entrepreneurism, develop and produce food products for resale, a winter farmers market, and we have talked to everybody who's on the farmers market on the common right now, and they all want to join in a winter farmers market. And we don't have too many in the area. Community meeting space, and even though you sit there and say, well, gee, there's lots of places we could meet, no, there isn't. Cooking classes. When we went to school, we were taught how to cook. No, they don't do that anymore. Kids don't know how to cook. Food preservation classes. Community dinners. We can promote agriculture, promoting agritourism. Combating food insecurity. One of the items I was talking about is in the food pantry, they hand out the food coupons. And a lot of people in Gilbertville can't get down to the farmer's market because they don't have transportation and they can't use their food coupons. I was at the USDA, I don't even know what that thing was actually called. They had a big thing up in Holborn a few months back. And I had to talk with a couple of people. And the USDA has a program now with food stamps that you can use your food stamps to buy food at farmers markets, and you can also use your food stamps to buy healthy meals, prepared meals that we could prepare and we could sell to people on food stamps. We could even deliver them to people, and they could be produced in our community kitchen, and we could make sure that the people who aren't getting healthy meals can get healthy meals. Community activities, back to the community dinners. We could have a monthly community dinner. February is chocolate night, okay. Artist space. Local business promotions. You know, this night, Mimi's wants to do a thing. This night, Rose 32 wants to do something. Civil defense space, all right? We'll get into that later on. Self-sufficient building, okay, and a net zero building. That's one of our plans. In many ways, a continuation of what this grand old girl has done for the last 100 years. We will continue to do for the next 100. This has got a history from World War II. There were victory gardens down on Barry Road. And when all the produce that was grown, they would bring them over to the school, and the ladies in town were canning them and freezing them, and then they distributed them to the people in town. So we would just do the same thing that they were doing 70 years ago. It's just on a different scale. But it's the same thing the school's done for a long time. Proposed renovations, a roof, we're going to paint gutters. New handicap roof, ramp, solar panels, which you're not going to see, native plantings like fruit trees, blueberry bushes, raised community beds for community use, a gazebo, benches, walking trails. In short, it's the same. It's been for 100 years, but it's not going to be overgrown. Interior. The shared community kitchen is going to be in the basement. We're going to put in handicap bathrooms. We're going to install heat pumps. We're going to remove the ugly drop ceilings and all those things. But when we remove the old radiators and the old heating systems, we can renovate the ceilings, the tin ceilings. We can put the schoolhouse lights back. We can fix the windows. We can refinish the hardwood floors, and the building's going to look the same way it did 100 years ago. And we're going to leave the slate, we're going to leave the walls. I'm not pulling on a wall, I'm not touching anything inside that building. All those little nicks and crannies from those thousands of little feet, including mine, they can still be there. So we're talking a battery backup system of some sort between the solar panels and the heat pumps. We're going to put in a propane generator. I like propane, it's a good cook with propane. But I can see that building in the event of an emergency. There'll be a place where people can go, that they can get heat, they can get showers, they can get food, and it'll be off the grid. I mean, it's going to look exactly the same as it's been for the last 100 years. You're going to walk into it, it's going to be an old school building from 100 years old. I don't want to touch anything in that building. I went to school there, I went to school there. I put those, I put the marks on there. As far as I can see, it's permitted under the current zoning. It's not gonna interfere with any of the historic designation of the building. It doesn't interfere with the rural nature of the town or the district, and it's not gonna interfere with the appearance of the building in any way. It does adhere to the current master plan for future agricultural businesses and furthering educational purposes. It furthers positive attitudes for the town and its agricultural roots. It would directly serve over 1,000 people per year and could easily serve 10 times that. And that is the calculations of you give one person a meal or you help one person learn how to cook a meal and they bring it home and they serve their entire family of 5. That one person now serves 5. Say that person now, it's the snowball effect of that. It's not going to be a burden upon the town anymore, okay? It's not going to be deteriorating anymore, and it's going to again be the showcase it used to be. Where are we at here? This would immediately start bringing revenue back to the town because with permits and any of the things that we have to do on it, I mean, just with permitting fees and things like that. And then right here is that we have every intention of entering into a pilot program. We are a nonprofit, but we will enter into a pilot program with the town so that once the building is finished and we're underway, please don't ask us to do it until we get some money coming in, but we plan on paying the taxes on this building, okay? Because we feel it is only fair, all right? We will pay we're not going to be Eagle Hill, okay? We are going to pay what we feel, what the town feels we should pay, all right? This is going to bring in much needed programs to the town and the area. Classes to teach children how to cook, adults to teach them how to cook. There's a million things that we can do, preservation classes. I actually had somebody say, gee, do you want to have a cooking program out of that we could broadcast? And I'm like, well, something doesn't matter. But there's the community dinners and monthly activities of some sort that we could do. All sorts of things that we could bring people in to do. It would allow entrepreneurs to have a place to explore, to figure out how to build things. We could bring in various groups that could help. We could have an entrepreneur night. We could bring in professionals to say, does somebody need help? The USDA is very big on having people to come in and help people learn how to do skills and various other things like that. What do you want to say?
I don't really have anything to add other than my track record in grant applications and getting grants is quite good. Very good at writing, and there's already a bunch of grants out there that we could probably very easily get.
This is wonderful. Community kitchen is absolutely necessary. That's part of civil defense as far as I'm concerned. So you say you have a 501c3.
We have state designation. We're working on the federal, but the problem is if we don't have the building,
right?
Why would I do that? And please only take the dollar.
What are you doing?
Can't.
What are you
I'm
doing?
offering money
accept
to buy the building. No, this is money. I'm offering money to buy the building.
Okay.
This is not a
We need
reasonable
a-
time to do that.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, is, this is good faith money to buy the building, all right? This is what I'm saying, which we are, this is not a bribe, this is offering money on a purchase and sale of the building.
Thank you. We have to come up with a formal
Right.
event for that. I would like to say that you talk about a snowball effect. Actually, you're maybe talking about compound interest, kind of spreading that way. And maybe Pathfinder and their culinary department might be an interesting part of this.
Yes.
And I do have one correction. And I have to do this a lot. It's not the Ruggles Hill School. It's the Ruggles Hill Road School. Because the Ruggles Hill School is in Barry.
Okay.
And we just don't want to get too confused. That's all.
I grew up, it was the Hardwick Elementary School. It was never the Ruggles Hill School.
That's
It
a
was
good-
the Hardwick Center School when I
Yeah.
went to.
That would be a good thing to change, for sure.
Yeah.
Good.
But-
I think it's a wonderful idea. We've been
Elementary.
trying to figure
They
this
really
out
don't.
a long time,
Yeah.
so. Okay,
Other-
make it so.
Any other questions?
I don't have any questions. Your list is excellent.
One of the things that has been brought up, by all means, Ann, go ahead.
I'm interested in whether you go to planning to arrange about the parking and all.
There is parking problem that could be figured out. There's a lot of open ground around. It would be tricky. Mr. Tinker?
I am in favor of it, I like the idea. Couple things, like you could reach out to community colleges as far as maybe offering like a satellite remote for people that don't have internet, could attend their colleges via internet. Just a suggestion. Another one is I'm in favor of the commercial kitchen. I'd like to see something in there where it's favorable to all the Hardwick residents, as far as using it like a rate that's reasonable. I see a lot of commercial kitchens that get grant money, get all this, get established, and then turn around and charge the person $200 an hour.
One of the things that we have seen is that there's a membership, and there's 2 layers of membership. One being, for the local membership, and it's peanuts, like $25 a year. And that person gets a level of peanuts to get, to use the facilities. And the other one has, the higher member of it. But I don't care if this building makes money, all right? Very honestly. All I care about, and this is what I've discussed with Lisa, is that the goal on this building is that we're gonna totally renovate this building. So we're hopefully, for many years, we won't have any major maintenance issues. So what we need to pay for is utilities and the taxes, and any cost of any programs. The cost of programs will be paid for by grants. And the operating fees, and I'm figuring worst case scenario, we'd be using today's calculations, 10 grand for taxes. And the utilities aren't, if we put in solar panels and heat pumps, we're not talking a lot of utilities. So if we're talking $15,000 for utilities and taxes, that's not an awful lot, because if we're doing community dinners, I expect the general public, they're gonna have to pay for that dinner. All right, so that's operating money. So we don't have to take money from a farmer or Hardwick. They can come in and they can use it. They can sign up for their little slot, and they can use for whatever cost there may be. I mean, if they have to use, a couple of bucks worth of propane, they pay for a couple of bucks worth of propane. So,
Mr. Chair, may I make a recommendation? I would definitely recommend getting your 501c3. You can even use right now, your house, an ideal as your house is there as the.
but it isn't that, but it's just
Yeah.
like, I don't need a 501c3 if I don't have a building.
Well, these things, there is a process to everything, and we're having a conversation, and, we know you're interested.
Right.
And so.
If
we can
you
continue this.
say, talk to my lawyer and tell him to move on the 501c3, I will call him tomorrow.
And I also can add that I know that there are grants that we could be eligible for as long as there was a 501c3 to act as a fiscal sponsor. So that is certainly something we could do in the meanwhile before we get the 501c3.
Okay. Well, let's say, to protect the interests of the town, there would be some negotiations or some type of contract, something set up where if we give you this at a very reduced rate based off of everything you're saying to help the community and work within the community and do all these great things, at the same time, we're gonna have clauses in this where you can't just turn around and flip the building and sell it. Even though you're a nonprofit, you can still sell these assets. Because otherwise, we could sell this building in an auction or whatnot, and I'm just doing that to protect the
Correct.
town's interest.
And
And I don't
that's
think
fine.
that's the intent here,
Right,
okay, but that's why I'm just putting
and
it
that's
out there.
fine, that's not an issue, I mean,
Okay.
because that isn't, I don't want to
But
see
that's
this building,
something-
I don't want to see this building going to someone else, okay? I
Right.
want this building to be, I want 100 years from now, when we're not going to be here, okay, unless,
Mhm.
we don't know something. But I want somebody to sit there and say, wow, back then they had vision, and it's still here. And that building is now 225 years old, and it's still here, and it's still doing something for this town. And that's what I wanted to happen, because you people don't understand how much I love that building, okay? I really love that building, and, you know, and it means something, really means an awful lot to me. You know, right of first refusal, if for some reason, you know, we ever have to get rid of it, that's fine, okay? If the town wants to take over it. But the issue of having the town own it and say if we were leasing it from the town, that hampers a lot of money that could possibly go towards renovations, because I know right now that there's a grant that I can apply for that would pretty much pay for everything, all the renovations, but if they won't give it to a town. All right, I mean, I'd have to jump through some hoops, and I'd probably have to, well, you know, maybe not sell my soul, but I might have to sell him.
Hey,
Okay, well, at least rent them out, okay? But, you know what I'm saying is, I mean, it's a lot, you know, and I really have to rely on Lisa and a few other people. But, I mean, they've given out, you know, $1.5 million like that, all right, to do a really good project. And I think this qualifies as a really good project, but they won't give it to a town. And I know if the town, they won't do a community kitchen if the town is involved. All right, they'll do matching grants and stuff like that. And, you know, if the town could afford it, they would have saved a long time.
I don't think the town wants the building. I mean, I love the building. I pictured it as a police station 15 years ago. I thought that was a good idea. I liked the preschool in there. I thought was pretty cute. I'm sure that some of the parts of any kind of contract or agreement would include you have to do something with it. I think the fear is that, you know, if we give a building to an organization, then it's not on our hands anymore. But then if if there's 3 or 4 of you that got the fire in their bellies like you do, if it doesn't go, we don't want it to continue to be derelict.
Right.
So it's tricky on how to specify that, and you gotta hope for the best, but
Mr. Chair,
yes, ma'am.
I think there are a few more steps that the town has to take before we're ready to figure that
We're
out.
involved in looking at that building and the others, the Page and the white building down the street, and how to deal with these things. And capital planning is moving on that. So we do have appraisals coming in, or due. So, but I think this is a great idea if you could take screenshots of what you presented and have it be available. I know you have,
Lisa, you don't
Kind of
do
a-
that.
you do have a condensed version here, but I'm a complete fan, given that, you know, the town would be eager to make it happen.
And that building came online, I think it was March 1st of 1901. And I would want it to be open in some way on the 125th anniversary, so that gives me a year and a half.
A year and a half, well, that'll help.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm saying, is, I mean, and.
We
I
better
would-
get to it then.
I can make a phone call and start on the roof.
Just a question of cash.
Yeah.
Has it ever been decided where the property line is for the school versus the waterworks?
We're pretty sure that there's enough room.
Yeah, we've worked with the
Surveyor.
the building inspector, the assessor, so yeah, we're pretty sure that we're figuring it out.
We have to be outside 150 feet.
Yeah, we're there.
Okay, so does she keep that driveway on the left side of the building, or does that go with the water?
Those are details. Might be a parking lot in back, who knows?
Yeah.
Got to see what's possible, got to make sure that it's doable. I wouldn't make any phone calls yet. I'm sure that Kelly Kemp would want to be involved in this, and Finance Committee, but not to slow it down. It's been something that we've been kicking down the road since 2001 that I remember, so.
Right.
And it is time to get going. I'm glad we have a deadline now.
Well, from what I saw of the original plans, the original plot of the school made, the building plot of the property plot of the school made it almost up to the well part. Okay, so the side yard where the basketball court is supposedly part of the school.
Right. And wherever they show us that it starts here, then 150 feet out has to be protected because it's a
Right,
public
and,
water.
and I actually did talk to several people in the past about what can we do, because that 150 feet actually goes through the building.
That's
And I
another
did,
view.
I talked to several people, and they said because of the fact that the 150 feet goes through the building, they would allow that to back out of the building,
It doesn't go.
because,
We have to,
Yeah.
we need to have
Yeah.
certified survey, all sorts of stuff. We were digging back there because there was a plan to put the wastewater treatment facility back there, just before the last landfill war started. We were going for an alternative system, and we were doing perk tests back there. There's more land than is obvious.
yeah, I know, there's
So-
there's land in the back that's kind of wet, which would be beautiful for blueberry bushes.
Absolutely. So it's all a good idea, but we can't say yes right now. And we'll have to get tape measured up there. We'll have to get theodidates, with the surveying. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take good care of my building until then.
You'll
We
see
will.
that this meeting.
Where's my coat? Where's my coat?
I mean, you understand, it's not gonna be settled tonight.
I
It's a process, it's
I
just
know
a
that,
start.
I understand that. I'm just saying is, I mean, what you folks have to, and you signed my papers, I don't know how many years ago it was that when I told you about how much I wanted that building. I mean, I've been rabid about this building for a long
Well,
time.
let's do it. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been kicking it down the road because we keep running into these obstacles.
Right.
Let's,
They all can be dealt with. I mean, I'm a reason, people don't think so, but I'm a very reasonable person, and that building needs to be saved now, because there's a hole in the roof. And we need to save it before the snow flies. Somehow, we gotta get that hole fixed. And, one way or another, we gotta at least get that hole fixed.
we are gonna fix the roof on the old town barn.
Okay.
When does that start?
As
Oh,
soon as the fair's over.
yeah.
Oh, good.
Well, if we could have a conversation about how we can, I'll go up on that roof and I'll help them patch that hole and, you know,
I have to make you a special employee.
that's okay. I mean, I will be scared, but I'll go up, that's how much I love that building. I will go up and I will.
All right,
go
what's
on
the
that
first
building.
rule now? Do not become a casualty.
No, I won't. The roof's not that big.
Okay.
It's just, I'll stay away from the edges and won't talk.
Thank you
Thank you,
very
gentlemen.
much.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Liz.
All right.
Thanks for the energy.
Yes.
Yeah. This has been on my plate for decades. Thank you.
Well, all right. Comments from the visitors? Minutes? Let's see, I've read the minutes.
Yeah, I've read the minutes from June 24th and
July
June 22nd.
Second.
And I mentioned to Sandy there's July 8th, but
She's
whatever.
working on it,
Yeah, okay.
yes.
I
Yes.
just want to, there was one in between that. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from June 24th and July 22nd, 2024.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Town administrator report.
So the municipal office building is going to be rekeyed. I have a date, it didn't have a date when I wrote this, on August 22nd. So, an email is gonna be going out to everybody. Sandy's gonna be working on, issuing keys out to everybody, for boards and committees and town employees. That way, when someone leaves a board or leaves an employment, we can collect the key and keep accurate record of who's been issued keys to town hall. We have been awarded the $950,000 CDBG grant for Highland Terrace and the planning study for Gilbertville Memorial Park. We've also been awarded the $95,000 National Park Association grant for the townhouse. Both of those projects, I have a call with Marty and Central Mass Regional Planning next week, I think next Wednesday, if I remember correctly, about next steps for those projects. We have secured a $15,000 state earmark for fire hydrants and a $50,000 earmark for the municipal office building. I went over the Maya risk grant and the public safety wellness grant last time. Nothing's really changed there yet. But I did start putting together a spreadsheet for FY25 of all of our grants, so we kind of know what we've been awarded, what we're still waiting on, what we're applying for, and that way we can keep track of it, because there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's a lot of stuff to remember. So I'm working on that, so I'm actually gonna bring it with me to the capital planning meeting on next week too. So hopefully we can keep better track and kind of know what we're applying for, how much, who's the contact person, and deadlines that we have to meet.
Good idea.
Implemented the visitor code of conduct policy that the board had approved last meeting. We still are looking for 3 employees, a highway working foreman, a truck driver laborer, and a wastewater treatment plant assistant chief operator. Those have all been posted. It's been really slow. So at the last department head meeting that I had, we talked about department goals for FY25. So all of those departments, except one, have given me their goals for FY25, and I'll be presenting them to the personnel committee meeting.
I wrote him a note.
I know. I was kidding. So myself and our assessor we met with Zico's auction group, which does municipal auctions, regarding the 3 vacant town-owned properties. More information is coming. We still have a little information we have to gather before I can really present it to the board and have all the information. I met with the headmaster and the business manager at Ruggles Hill School. Myself, the Board of Health clerk, and 2 members of the wastewater treatment plant took CPR and AED, and we all received certificates. Myself, police, fire, building, our executive assistant, and the health department met to discuss a formalizing processing for licenses and permits when it comes to special events. So far, we've drafted something, and I have to get it out to everyone so they can, comment and make suggestions and everything before I present it to the board. But I just wanted to give you guys notice that is also coming down the pipeline. I went to a meeting in Ware to discuss the Mary Lane Hospital property. I also met with Judy Korzik to get up to speed on the healthcare issues that the town's facing. So that's actually something that's going to be on the agenda for the next meeting. So also just to give you guys a heads up. I also attended a Council on Aging meeting in Barry. We discussed their issue with the Serve Safe Kitchen. That has now been restored as of today. Barry Senior Center is serving meals again.
They
and Meals on
needed
Wheels.
somebody, right? They needed somebody with that training.
Yes, someone had to be Serve Safe certified. They got that certification, or they got a copy of it, so now they were able to open the kitchen today.
Good.
Quick question back on the Mary Lane Hospital.
Oh, sure.
With Judy Korzik. Is it gonna be this same presentation she made at the Board of Health, or is it gonna be different?
It's going to be a little bit of that, but it's also going to be proposing a special task force. So there's a specific group that's looking at this issue, because there's a lot of moving pieces, as you heard. So just having a designated group, so it's going to be more of a little bit of an update and then a little bit of a proposal, of a task force or something.
Or a committee?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the way I understand it, it's not so much focused on saving the building.
No.
It's focused on getting medical, urgent care, some kind of replacement.
And also, yes, for sure. And also, I don't want to speak for Judy, but I'll just say it's also has to do with the trust that we, Gilbertville has some money in a trust
Good
with the
money.
town of Ware,
Yeah.
and making sure that we have the right people to make sure that we get. hopefully
That
get it
Bay
right.
State doesn't steal it.
Right.
Am I on TV?
Yes. I really want to leave it up to Judy because she's really been putting in as you heard, she's really been putting in the time.
Yes.
As Selectman Tinker also noted, I attended the Board of Health meeting. We discussed possibly joining the Quabbin Health Alliance for FY26. I know the health director for the Quabbin Health Alliance has reached out to John Mott, the chair of the Board of Health here. They're
Good.
going to have a conversation.
Good.
We have to get some information to them about our inspections and everything for the last 3 years. And then the next step would be to write a letter and submit it to them asking to join for FY26. And then the town would have to vote on it at our annual town meeting next year.
And that would be FY '26?
Yes. Yep.
And why are we considering this?
So when I first came to Hardwick, the Board of Health had talked to me, the chair of the Board of Health had talked to me some of their issues that they were having with the Leicester Health Coalition. In terms of communication, there were some inspections missed, and just overall, unorganized. And they were reaching out to, I guess, Orange, and that had kind of fallen through the cracks, from my understanding.
Well, my understanding is they weren't allowed to because they had to give a 3-month notice and time had expired, so they had to sign back up for another 3 years with Leicester on the grant. That's my understanding
For this
just
fiscal year?
recently,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Right, and so we have, as you know, grant money tied in with Leicester that pays and subsidizes the Board of Health. So when we switch, or if we switch,
Yeah.
we're gonna lose grant money, but we're also gonna have to fund the Board of Health.
Right.
So these are things we're gonna have to, we need to know what the cost is.
Yes.
And our emergency services and stuff like that, because we're tied in with Barry, we're tied in with New Braintree.
Yeah.
And right now, we're with them through the Leicester Alliance. But if we switch over to the Quabbin, we won't be.
Well,
So,
we have a contract with West Brookfield, and that's just us and
But these were things that were brought up, but they were all part of this.
just to speak to that, so they're a part of the, they're a part of the Leicester Health Coalition.
Who's
They can
they?
lead, the other towns there's 8 towns in the coalition. and they can do whatever they want within their own volition. If they want to stay, go, whatever is best for that community. But I guess from the point of view from the Board of Health and myself, the Board of Health Chair and myself, is we have to look out for the best interest of our residents, and are they getting the best services? Are we getting the best bang for our buck? And that's just what we're looking into. Nothing's really been decided.
Okay.
Yeah. The wastewater treatment plant superintendent and myself, we had a monthly site visit at Gilbertville and Wheelwright. We met with the project engineers for those two projects. As you know, today Senator Durant and Representative Berthium and their team came out and toured our police facilities here in Hardwick and in New Braintree. I almost didn't put this next one on here, but I had an interview on Ware Radio about my new job in Hardwick.
Oh, that's good.
Because Hollywood,
No, not at
right
all.
around the corner. We've seen it before.
No. So for recognition, I did attend National Night Out in Barry at Quabbin Regional High School with the police and fire department. So that was really nice. The weather was not great. Luckily it wasn't raining, but I feel like next year hopefully we'll get a better night. There'll be more people, but it was really nice to see like some kids trying on like the police vests, and it was cute. So I liked being a part of that. I also feel like I really want to I always feel like I'm recognizing the highway department, but a couple weeks back we had a sinkhole on one of our streets, and the highway superintendent repaired it in so fast. I can't even believe what he's capable of. So I really want to highlight what a great job he does.
He comes in on weekends, middle of his vacation. Unbelievable.
Big thank you to Marty.
Yeah. So under important dates, I have a couple to add, but I'll just go over the ones that are here, and then I'll talk about the ones I have to add. The Hardwick Fair is August 16th and 17th.
Whoa!
Yeah.
It's coming right up, huh?
Right?
So I get to go to that for my first time. So I'm excited about that, to see what it's all about.
Bring people with you, we want more people.
I'm bringing my boyfriend. So
Yay!
No dogs.
No, Red, we won't be there. I am on vacation the week of September 1st. I just want to remind the board of that.
For how long?
Just a week.
What are we gonna do?
We'll manage.
All right.
Oh my God. So I sent an email out September 30th. We're having an open meeting law training at Ruggles Hill School in the auditorium from 4:30 to 6:30. Attorney Nicole Costanza from KP Law is doing the presentation. She did an excellent job when I was in Ware, so I was really excited that we could work with her to do it for our boards and committees and our staff. With that being said, it is on a Monday, which is a long night, so we will be closing town hall for those 2 hours so the staff can attend the training. But we'll make sure it's on Facebook, make sure it's posted and notified.
Can I ask a really quick question
Oh
about
yeah,
that?
of course.
Because my husband, who's on the Conservation Commission, got that email.
Yeah.
But I'm on the Master Planning Committee, and I didn't.
And I didn't get it, and I'm on
Oh.
the townhouse.
Let me write that down so I'll make sure why there was an issue with, like I added groups to the email, and I'll have to go back and talk to my assistant and make sure that the right people are on those groups, so thank you. Write that down. The last thing that I just wanted to add that isn't on my report that just came in is, so the Barry Senior Center is having a Senior and Veterans Information Fair on Tuesday, August 20th from 10 to 1. So I will be stopping at that, and I just wanted to let you guys know that that's what's going on. It is posted on the town website, and it's on their Facebook page, but they have a lot of services coming in, and so hopefully, yeah. Is lunch.
I have another question.
Yeah, no.
I thought today was supposed to be Crane Day for the pump station. Do we know when that's gonna happen?
Rain day?
They were supposed to bring the new building, on 32A. that
Oh, up
they're-
near,
Yeah.
near the center of town.
Yeah.
Top of the hill.
That was
Visit.
supposed to be today.
I don't.
From what I know, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I know Scott Potter has to do a final inspection at the factory and go through everything and make sure everything's A-okay before it
As long
leaves.
as it's not during the fair.
Oh,
No, it
everyone
would
knows
never be
that,
during the
yeah,
I have nightmares.
No, don't worry
No.
about that. So, no, that will be all coordinated. Scott's on it, Justine's on it.
Just a thing for.
Yeah, no, that would never. But I can see your concerns with that.
So that's all of my report. At the end of your packet are all the department monthly reports, which I didn't have last month, but I do have this one.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's all for me.
Selectmen roundtable?
I don't have too much or anything as far as the selectmen roundtable goes. One of the things I do want to bring to the attention, we were talking about the idea of a new fire truck, stuff like that, and how we're going to pay for stuff like this. One idea I mentioned to Justine is crowdfunding, where we could literally take, if citizens wanted to, donate money, like say $500. If we got 3,000 people to donate $500 over, say, 3 years, so that 500 would be broken down over 3 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it'd be like 175 or 200. Whatever. Basically, we'd be able to buy a fire truck, and by the time it actually shows up, because it's going to. By the time you place an order, if you bought a brand new one from the factory and they built it, it would take years to build.
2 years at least.
And so it's just an idea that's, kind of kicking around. The numbers are out there, like the numbers work in that end, versus assessing somebody's real estate and then having that compound over time, like every year. You know what I mean? You assess it for a fire truck, and then every year that grows and grows. I mean, it doesn't grow much, but at the same time it does. Versus, and we could reach out to, we could do fundraisers, but, and maybe get some organizations around here that would maybe do matching funds and take the burden off of some of the citizens that wouldn't be able to match, say, do 500. I mean, it's just an idea. It's not really worked out 100%, but it mathematically works.
Mathematically, yeah. So how different would it be from a debt exclusion? For the town to borrow the money and then the town to vote to accept that loan and pay it off over a given period.
Well, one that would be whatever the interest rate on that given loan. So if it's 6.5% or 8% or whatever the interest rates are right now, that right off the rip would be a savings.
So you're talking about money up front.
Well, a commitment up front, like everybody, whoever's interested would be, donate $150 and say, and then we place an order for a truck.
That would definitely.
This is something, I can put it all on paper and do a better job explaining it, and people understand it. But it's just a suggestion of possible, how do we fund a fire truck on top of everything else?
Definitely be a conversation to have with the association, because it's illegal for us to do that as municipal employees. But it would definitely be a conversation I would have with the association, so I'd reach out to Josh.
Okay.
Yeah, the fire association,
Yeah.
right. And they probably have seed money already.
Do you want me to give a fire truck update?
Something's coming on Friday.
So yeah, we did get a chance to take a look at a demo truck and different funding options for that last week. Friday, we're looking at a used one from the town of Wales, and then the capital planning committee is actually meeting Monday, and we're gonna kind of because now that at that point we would have seen a couple options, we're gonna sit down each year on and have a conversation.
And the Wales truck will be here Friday, what time?
At 11.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. And that's, according to whatever's legal, that's a good idea. We need a fire truck. Mostly what we need to do is get out from under the fire truck that's in for repair. I'm going to imagine that the fire truck from Wales is going to be about as expensive as the repair on the Pierce. So,
20 grand less.
Oh, my.
so now you're buying a used fire truck. But yes, it's a possibility, because we have to do something. Actually, we have 2 working fire trucks. The tanker is an attack engine. It's set up both ways, so. And we have mutual aid. There you go. And happily, we seem to have enough firefighters that are coming to meetings and turning out, so that's the worst of it.
It was really nice to see the turnout, to get to go to one of their meetings, and passion. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, we've got some young kids coming
Yeah.
up and everything. That's good. All right, well, I have something. I am still sitting on quite a little lot of money from the sale of the ambulance and the ambulance barn. I'm the president of the trustees of the Hardwick Rescue and Emergency Squad. It's a 501c3. We can't give the money to the town. Can't give the money to the fire department. Have to give the money in the realm that it was generated, which is emergency medical stuff. So, I've got the other directors, and there are only 3 of them, to agree to put money to help people who want to take EMT and paramedic training. And we've done that successfully once, and 1.5 times. The kid needs to take his final backup test. And then we'll have 2 EMTs. These are both on the fire squad. Now there are 2 others that want to do that, and I've told them that I got the okay to do that, and the deputy fire chief here in Hardwick wants to go for his paramedic, and that's like $10,000. So we're going to kick in half the cost and get him going.
Nice.
So one of the only thing I can think to do without an ambulance is to populate the area with as many EMTs as possible.
That's awesome.
They're just starting now at the school. You can have an 18-year-old EMT drive an ambulance. That's state law. Recently, and the high school has graduated in EMT. I've been yelling, why don't you just have a biology class for a semester, do it as an EMT training class. Every kid that comes out of that school should have an EMT certification, right? Did you hear me? We spend enough money at it. So that's coming, and I've found out that I can use the money for AEDs. So since we've got AED training happened, I'm going to buy don't tell anybody, I'm going to buy an AED for the water control facility, and you wanted another one here?
Highway?
Highway.
Yep.
Right. We did one at the senior center. It has long gone defunct. There is one here,
There's one at the town.
and there's one at the townhouse, correct. I bought those 2 with that money, and I'm going to continue doing it until the money's gone. So, there it is. If you think of a place to use the AED, I want to do one at the recycling. So, there it is. So that's all I got.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So, that's all right, huh?
A lot going on.
There's a lot, there's mighty needs, great needs. All right, anything else?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll second it. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.